The Lakers report and the Warriors today are in a sub-battle for the top two California teams. Suck it, Kings. Anyway, we are 53 subs behind them over the last 7 days. The rough start of NBA free agency. Let's get caught up sooner than later. If you want more free Lakers videos on everything going on around LA, hit that sub button right now. NBA free agency is underway, well underway, and we're here to break down the latest rumors around the Los Angeles Lakers, leading with the fact there's probably going to be one more move coming for LA. The report from The Athletic is that the Lakers plan on carrying 14 players. Now, the NBA can allows teams to max out at 15, but this does give the Lakers some added flexibility if a two-way guy impresses, if they want to go sign somebody else later on in the offseason. So carrying 14 with the way the Lakers roster is set up, I think does make some sense. Now, what's noteworthy here, and I think also sensible, is that the Lakers are targeting another big man to add to their rotation, which is absolutely the correct move, I believe. Right now, it's Anthony Davis, Jackson Hayes, that they picked up this offseason. They brought back Rui Hachimura. They brought back Jared Vanderbilt. Davis can play the 5. I think he's at his best when he's playing the 5, by the way. Hayes can play some center, is a center. Hachimura, Vanderbilt, they can play 4 and have played the 4. I don't love them as a full-time 5. They can do some small ball 5 stuff, but especially come playoff time, when you got to guard Nikola Jokic, finding another big man, even just to give you like 10 minutes a game, I think potentially 10 at least, would be valuable. Now, The Athletic mentioned 2 players who were on the roster last year could be brought back. First off is Mo Bamba, who at his best offers the type of rim-running, shot-blocking ability that I find very valuable and can stretch the floor a little bit, but didn't play that much for the Lakers last year, has been up and down over the course of his NBA career. Maybe he commands a little bit more as a former lottery pick, but I think bringing back Bamba and letting him and Jackson Hayes compete for that, true center starter, knowing they probably wouldn't start very many games, I think that's a good idea for LA. The other player was Tristan Thompson because, he got signed for the playoff run for the Lakers, which was still kind of funny, and then actually played kind of well in the couple games he got to play, which was super interesting. Maybe another one of the LeBron Cleveland crew makes some sense for Thompson to be brought back. We'll see what happens. We'll break down some outside the Lakers options. I didn't mention Wenyen Gabriel. Doesn't really move the needle for me that much. We'll break down some other free agents, but first, of the 2 players that we just discussed, who would you rather bring back if you were the Lakers? MB for Mo Bamba, TT for Tristan Thompson. That's going to be today's pinned comment. So if an ad happens to play here on YouTube, it's fine. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know who you would rather sign if you were Rob Pelinka, if you ran the Lakers. It's the pinned comment of today's show. Let's look at the top free agent bigs. Now, LA a little bit limited with their monetary spending. Christian Wood really stands out. The issue you run into with Christian Wood is the numbers have always looked pretty solid. He's 16.6 points a game, 7.3 rebounds. He can stretch the floor a little bit. The real problem with Christian Wood, beyond the whole, literally can't play defense to save his life, is there's always something going on in the locker room, it feels like, for Christian Wood. The Mavs are like, nah, we're not going to bring him back. Maybe that changes. They still have their MLE available. Wood's talented. Never quite maxed out his talents. Maybe a team like maybe LeBron could get the most out of him. Who knows? It'd be an upside gamble, but he still might command more money elsewhere. A true center is next up. That is Mason Plumlee. And if you just want someone to give you that throwback, I'm just going to compare him all to Timothy Mozgov because I love the Mozgov money meme. I will never forget where I was when that happened. It was hilarious to me. Plumlee did actually play pretty decently. Again, a bit of a bounce back year for the Clippers. 10 points a game, almost 11 points a game, 9 boards. That's kind of who he is. That's who he's mostly been over his career. At his best, 10 points, 9 boards, can bring you some defense. Is it maybe the most athletic rim runner type? But as a backup center, he absolutely fits the type of player that I think the Lakers are searching for with that last roster spot. JaMychal Green is next up, a different type of player than maybe a little bit like Christian Wood. He offers some of that scoring ability, although I don't know if a scorer is what the Lakers really need at center. I would wonder if maybe a shot blocker could make some more sense, or a rim runner. Green can stretch the court a little bit, almost shot 38% from deep. Not the biggest player, not the best defender, but not a massive liability there either. If you can sign a JaMychal Green for the vet minimum, and he's like your 12th player in terms of your rotation and like your, 5th or 4th big man, yeah, I think that works. How about Paul Reed? I feel like he's always somehow underrated, or maybe underutilized, the term there, because, they had this guy named Joel Embiid who was pretty darn good. But when Reed's got chances, he's shown something resembling some flash. I'm not saying he's going to be like all of a sudden double his points per game and rebounds per game. But again, you're trying to fill a role. You're trying to fill that backup big man spot. And I think Reed has proven he can handle that and do a couple nice things when given a bigger chance at playing time. Finally, Bismack Biyombo. This kind of fits the Mo Bamba style. Maybe not quite as potentially gifted on offense, but Biyombo's athletic. He can block some shots. He's not going to score very much. That's not who he is, but he averaged almost a block and a half this past year. Can do some rebounding, can play around the rim. And I think if you're just trying to give Anthony Davis a breather, keep AD healthy throughout the regular season, banging every night in and out with other centers probably isn't the best idea. A player like Biyombo can give Davis some breathers from that perspective. So who else do you want to sign in NBA free agency? There's a spot open for LA. Who do you want to fill that open roster spot? Drop that player for me in the comment section right now. We might see some Malik Beasleys in there, and Yahoo Sports' Jake Fisher, who is up and down, if we're being honest, in terms of the reliability of some of those hits on his reports, says the Lakers still have interest in bringing back Malik Beasley, which the timing, I think, does matter here, which I'll explain. Beasley and his non-guaranteed salary were dumped before the start of free agency. The Lakers have tried to shop him. No one seemed interested. So, okay, we're going to move on from Beasley, dump that money, and spend it elsewhere. The Lakers, though, over the last couple days, have really taken care of their guard depth, as we'll break down later on. But here's what Jake Fisher writes. While the Lakers declined Beasley's $16.5 million player option for this year, Plinko holds the shooting wing in high regard, league sources told Yahoo Sports, and there were discussions in the Friday evening about Beasley potentially returning to the Lakers. I don't know if currently that makes as much sense. I'll explain why. But I do want to hear from you. In general, would you bring back Malik Beasley if you were the Lakers? A simple Y for yes or N for no will answer the question. So go vote right now in the comments. I'm not trying to be anti-Beasley, the player. Volume three-point shooter. He fits what the Lakers should have been always doing around LeBron. Put shooters out there. Let LeBron and AD take over the offense and then kick it out wide to guys like Beasley up and down over the course of his NBA career. But there are teams interested. This report here, from Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype, mentioned 6 teams. The Dallas Mavericks, who I don't know if they're the best fit, but whatever. The Golden State Warriors, absolutely in the market. The Bucks, that makes sense. The 76ers, yep. The Suns, this report came out before they got Eric Gordon, so that might take the Suns out of the mix, but they need vets pretty bad. And the Toronto Raptors, I don't know what their plan is, to be honest, in terms of like contending, rebuilding, somewhere in the middle. So sure, I guess Beasley makes sense. My issue is the Lakers don't need a guard. You have D'Angelo Russell. You have Austin Reeves. You have Gabe Vincent. You drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino. Taurean Prince kind of fits that Malik Beasley role. Now, Prince can maybe play a little bit at the 4 if needed, and Beasley kind of really wasn't that type of player. You have Max Christie. You did draft Maxwell Lewis. I think that guard wing role has been filled by LA. LeBron, if you want to count the wings too, and Rui and Vanderbilt can play the wing too. I don't think that's big of a need. Now, a big man? Yes. Now, what was also mentioned, the Athletic said Beasley or Lonnie Walker could come back if they wanted to, or if it was a possibility. They seemed unlikely. We can now officially cross Lonnie Walker off of that potential list. He signed maybe half hour before we started filming this video, give or take, that the Brooklyn Nets have signed Lonnie Walker on a 1-year deal. So he's now in Brooklyn. He will not be back as a member of the Lakers.